Hi, Emma.
Hi, Claire.
Make sure you have your pair of heavy dumbbells, so anything between 10 to 20 pounds. Emma's gonna be using 10 pounds. Once you have that next to you, come into a 4-point kneel position. And we're just gonna start with our favorite animals, the cat and the cow. Take a big inhale, look up to the ceiling, really arch to the back, and then take a big exhale as you press out of the hands and look towards your belly button. Really trying to activate your core and your upper back every time you round, and then releasing as you're arching. All right, Emma and I kind of got into like a mini tiff about this little intro as we were practicing.
Strong feelings.
Emily Sundberg recently wrote about a mini pie company called Fillings. The founder of Fillings is baker Katie Kaplan, a former Marine. She describes the branding as a tramp stamp but high fashion because that's America. Emily asked her why make pie when the internet loves viral cake content. Katie's response, I think pie represents something truly honest. It's messy, classic, and deeply American. It's the kind of dessert that tells you a story and brings people together. With Fillings, I wanted to take something so familiar and make it feel fresh and sexy, but still warm at its core. In a world obsessed with frosting, I wanted to celebrate the crust. So to me, it feels like cakes are more for celebrations and pies are more for holiday events like Thanksgiving. So do you think pies could expand beyond their current niche of holiday events and potentially swallow, pun intended, some of cake's territory?
I don't think so. I feel like pie is for pie time, and cake is just like a festive dessert that will always be a festive dessert, even if pie is trendy right now. To me, this feels like another crumble or another like Georgetown cupcakes, which was maybe not fleetingly trendy, but trendy for like a few years. And then it always comes back to cake.
Meet me in neutral. Bring your hands about 1 footprint forward in front of you. Okay, we're gonna press our hips down into a kneeling plank until you have a straight line from your shoulders to your hips to your knees, and then lift your butt and basically send your butt back towards your heels as if you're going into a child's pose. And as you can do that, you can round through the spine and then slowly unround to press yourself back into your kneeling plank. So you're gonna feel the core load up in your kneeling plank, and then you're gonna release the tension off the core as you send your butt back towards your heels. So what do you think is pie time? And why do you want to contain it so much?
I don't want to contain it. I want pie all the time, personally. But I just feel like cake is more versatile and decorative and feels more like special than pie. Like pie to me is a bit more humble.
My answer was more practical. Like I feel like pie is just forever going to be something that people have at like holiday events, and it's kind of just going to like be just for that because of the crust. I think that like pie just requires more delicacy and time to eat than cake does, and more patience, and Americans tend to not have that. They're more rushed. I feel like a cake is like easier to just like stuff in your mouth, you know, versus a pie you need to sit down.
This is where our fight started.
Ladies do not start fights, but they can finish them.
Because I just so strongly disagree with this. Like, who is rushing to eat cake with their hands and getting like mushy cake and frosting all over their fingers? Claire literally said, people are eating cake on their way to work.
Yeah, so we're gonna take one more. And then you're gonna meet me in your kneeling plank, and then you're gonna hold your kneeling plank on your next one. Really press out of your hands to open up through the upper back. Hold your abs nice and tight, so think ribs in and belly button in, and just hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back, take a little child's pose. Pies are delicate, cakes are not. Lie down on your back.
That just doesn't make any sense. Pies are much sturdier than cakes.
No, because cakes are just one blob.
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
Okay, we're gonna grab one of our heavy weights and you're gonna put it onto your hips. And then you're gonna put one hand on each bell, just like hold it in place. And I want your feet to be parallel, your heels just under your knees. All right, we're gonna lift our butt up into a bridge, making sure not to hyperextend at the top. And then we're gonna lower our butt all the way back down.
Immediately feel so much more glute with the weight balancing on my hips.
But you have to be careful, right, not to like extend at the top. Like you don't want to arch through the back, otherwise you're not going to feel the glutes and the hip extension and you're going to start to feel your low back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take 8 more. Think about pressing out of your heels as you lift and lower and try to make sure your knees stay in line with your hips.
Claire also hasn't taught me in a while, so I'm a little bit nervous about a hard class today.
You're going to be fine. Don't be such a pie. You're being too delicate.
I'm ready, my straw.
For 4, need more cake. Good. All right, for 3. Nice. All right, for 2. Good. All right, next time you're up into your bridge, you're gonna hold. Lift your left leg up into tabletop, into a single leg march. Good, and then put the foot back down, and then other side. So careful that you're not wobbling too much through the hips. So you wanna keep your butt at the same level the entire time and your hips aligned.
It's much more challenging because my hands are holding the bells, so I don't have a big base of support. So I'm also really trying to press my shoulders down to give me a little bit more balance as I do this.
Yes, for 8. And if you feel like this is too light, by the way, you can grab the other weight and put one in each hip. Good. For 6. Nice. Or if it's too heavy and you feel like you need a little bit more support, you can always bring your elbows down onto the floor and still keep the hands on the weight, but that'll give you a little bit more support. For 4. Okay. Beautiful. For 3. Nice. For 2. I know. We're doing good. You got it. All right. You're going to give me one more. Make sure you're even. So just take your time to be even. And then meet me with both feet on the floor and you're going to hold. Still holding your bridge. You're gonna send your feet about 1 footprint forward in front of you so that your feet are past your knees, and bring your toes up to the ceiling so just your heels are pressing down. Still keeping the weight on your hips. Lower the butt down a few inches and then lift it back up. And we're gonna keep going. Lifting and lowering. Nice, so same idea as before when we had the feet just under the knees. Make sure that you're not hyperextending at the top.
I tend to also feel this more in my low back with my legs straightened, so I really have to engage my core to protect the low back. But this feels way more glutes and hammies.
Yeah, I feel like I always feel more of my hammies in this for 7. But if you are feeling more low back, also you can bring the feet a little bit closer to the butt. For 6. Good. For 5. Beautiful.
It's like a hamstring curl in the air.
Exactly. For 3, keep your ribs knitted as much as you can. Good. For 2, and then we're gonna do the single leg marches in this position. Meet me up into your bridge hold. All right, now lift your left leg up into tabletop and then put the heel down back to where it came from, and then other side. So same principles as what we just did a second ago with the feet under the knees, in the sense that you don't want your hips to wobble too much and you want to keep them aligned. For 8.
Whew.
For 6.
Also not letting my feet crawl into center, because that's cheating.
Yeah, I know. That will also help you like avoid a ton of wobbling through the knees. 3. For 2. You guys have no idea how hard it is to co-teach as you do. All right, Last one, make sure you're even. Meet me with the feet on the floor. Just hold little pulses up and down with the butt. Last little thing. Good for 10, 9, engage through the core. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the butt. Come all the way down. Nice job. Okay, that was amazing. We're gonna come all the way up to stand, and you can grab one of the weights and bring it up to stand with you. Our weight is gonna be in our right hand, and we're gonna come into a lunge position with the left leg forward. So left foot is forward, right leg is back behind you. Your front leg is gonna be bent, your back leg is gonna be straight, your back heel is lifted. Bring your left hand onto your hip and make a little A shape with the bell, with the right hand. All right, we're gonna hinge forward. So keep the legs where they are. You're just gonna lean forward, come down even further into your lunge. So the weight's gonna come closer to that front leg, and then you're gonna unhinge, come back to where you came from. So legs are staying in the same position. It's just the upper body going down and up so that you can stick your butt cheek out behind you as you go down.
I'm trying to really lengthen through my left glute and hamstring and like pull it back almost without letting my knee move to feel the glute more.
Kind of think like deadlift vibes. And the more knee bend you have in the front leg, the lower you are. So like the harder it's gonna be. So just like if you want a little bit more, come lower in that flexion on the front knee. Okay, we're gonna keep going, but bring your left arm out to a T. So nothing else is changing. You're just bringing your left arm out to a T. Try to keep your wrist in line with the shoulder. Yeah, good.
I'm sweating.
Already?
Oh my God, yeah. Also turn the AC off.
Yeah, this always happens. Squeeze the shoulder blades together a ton so that the weight isn't like dragging you down and rounding through the spine.
It's the end of the day, you're ready to pull up your anchor, and all of a sudden it is totally stuck.
Okay, let's take 5 more. Make sure that back heel is super lifted. If your heel is down, it's gonna feel super uncomfortable. For 4, and you won't be able to lean forward.
Ooh. I'm feeling so much left glute every time I hinge.
For 2, yep, it's allowing you to put more weight into your front heel. All right, last one, you're gonna meet me down into your hinge and you're gonna hold. Everything from your belly button on up is gonna rotate over to the left. So basically the bell, you're reaching it down towards your front ankle. So like really reach it down as much as you can to get a super deep twist, and then untwist, come back to where you came from. And we're gonna keep going. So don't move your right hip. Think about your ribs and everything above your ribs rotating. Yeah, good. And the more you reach that bell down towards the floor, down towards the front ankle, the more of a rotation you're gonna get, the more front glute you're gonna feel.
Oh.
Okay, we have 6.
I'm still really pressing out of my left heel also to connect to the glute.
Yeah. Any words of advice on
This is so intense with the twist.
how not to bring your right hip forward?
I'm almost trying to like keep length through my right hip flexor and almost stretch it back behind me to resist the twist.
For 2. Last one, you're gonna meet me in that twist. You're gonna hold, you're gonna row the right arm. So aim your elbow towards your back pocket, and then you're gonna unrow.
Ooh.
And we're gonna keep going. Good, hold the twist for 8. Yeah, keep the legs as stable as possible.
God.
For 7, I know this is such a bitch. All right, for 6,
Aye.
good. This is how I feel about your opinion on me and my take opinion. For 4, good. All right, for 3, keep breathing. Try to rotate even more. Good. For 2, this is the last thing. All right, you're gonna give me 1 more. Good, and then come all the way up. You're done with that. Amazing. Holy shit. Okay. All right, this next part was the hardest piece, like explain to Emma over the computer.
E.T. home phone.
So the bells are gonna be touching each other, they're gonna be horizontal, and they're gonna be parallel with the front edge of the mat. So if you don't get what I just said, just look at Emma, okay? Because I don't know what to tell you. It's the best way I could explain it. Yeah, bring them in the middle of the mat. That's a good idea. And then you're gonna stand on what I called the stick in the walkthrough. So your heels are gonna be on the sticks, and then your toes are gonna be on the floor. hands are gonna be on your hips. I want you to stay pretty vertically stacked. So you're gonna bend your knees, come down into a squat, so your knees go super far forward over your feet. Try to not lean forward too much. Good. It should be a ton of quad. And then you're gonna come all the way back up to straight legs. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So now we're gonna be working the front of the leg. So we just did a lot of glute and hammies. Yeah, so the further down you come, the harder it's going to be. So just adjust based on what feels good for you. If it's like a little bit too much in the quads, you can lean forward a tad, but just like the more you hinge, the more you're sending the weight to the back of the leg. And I do really want you to feel this in the quad.
I'm gonna do the slightest hinge so I can get a little bit deeper, but not too much.
As a pie lover, how do you feel about mini pies for 8?
No. The ratio of regular sized pie is the perfect ratio, and mini pie fucks that up. In a mini pie, there's less filling to crust ratio.
Oh, I see what you're saying. For 3?
You know? Oh my God, so much
I know,
quad.
I'm sorry. For 2? Okay, you got it. Make sure your toes are facing forward, by the way. Last one, you're gonna meet me down there and you're gonna hold. All right, you're gonna close the knees as if you're trying to squeeze them, and then you're gonna open. Stay down there, just open and close the knees. Yeah, there we go, good. Keep breathing, engage the core for 8. I know, this is so much quad. Good for 7. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Dude, you're killing me.
For 6, you asked for lower body. Good. For 5, actually Maddie, a subscriber, did. For 4, she was like, I like this targeted shit. All right, for 3, we only do full bodies these days. For 2, okay, one more close, hold the legs open, stay down there, pulse up and down. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. That was amazing. Okay, we're gonna do the lunges on the other side. So put one of the weights aside, grab the other weight. So this time your weight is gonna go on your left hand and your right leg is gonna be forward. So right leg is forward, left leg is back behind you, front leg is bent, back leg is straight, back heel is lifted, right hand is on your hip. For now, we're just gonna start with those hinges. So lean forward, make a little A shape with the bell, by the way. So lean forward, stick your front butt cheek out as much as you can, and then come back to where you came from.
I feel like in preparation, I'm mentally like gripping through my toes on this side, so I'm also really trying to press through my heel and release my toes again.
Yeah, and remember, like, if you really press into your heel, that's what's gonna give you the sensation of that like deadlift where you can really stick the tush out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll even put my hand here for some feedback.
Okay, but I'm about to remove it. Sorry. All right, bring your right arm out to a T.
Oh,
okay. All right, we're gonna get ready. We're starting to set up for our rotations. Really think about squeezing the upper back, like the shoulders together, so that the weight doesn't like drag you down, especially if you have a heavier weight. I was doing this with the 20-pound, but I'm
okay, show off.
sorry. I was gonna call you a wuss, but I didn't. I just did indirectly. All right, we have 2 more. Good. Last one, you're gonna meet me down there and you're gonna hold. All right, everything from your belly button on up is gonna rotate to the right. So you're aiming the bell for the front ankle. So really aim towards the floor. Good. And then come back to where you came from. Good. So the bell goes lower down to the floor as you rotate, and then it goes up a little bit. Good, as you unrotate. Don't let the left hip come with you. For 8.
I was gonna say also, because it's such a heavy weight, it's easy to let the weight like drag you down. I'm really trying to let the twist come from my core rather than like the weight initiating the twist.
For 7. Nice, good. Keep the back like super straight. Good. For 6. And really feel like when you send the weight down towards the floor in your twist, how much it activates the glute. For 5. Good. All right, for 4.
I'm shaking.
For 3, you got it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. For 2. Last one, you're gonna meet me down into your twist and you're gonna hold. You're gonna row the arm and then you're gonna unrow. For 7, Breathe, engage your core as much as you can. Good for 6. Beautiful. For 5. Breathe, breathe, breathe. For 4. Last 3. Really strong. Breathe. Good for 2. You're going to give me 1 more, and then you're done. Come out of that. Hell yeah. Okay. We're going to grab both dumbbells now, so 1 in each hand. And I want you to stand in the middle of your mat and then put the dumbbells down onto the floor, feet hip width distance apart. So just look at Emma if you're not sure what I mean by that. Sure your feet are hip width distance apart and keep your hands on the bell. So you're in a low squat and externally rotate your feet. So you're in a low externally rotated squat. Make sure that both your hands are really grabbed onto those handles. We're gonna go ahead and row the left arm. So remove the weight off the floor, row the left arm, stay low in your squat, put the weight back down to the floor. Now extend your left leg long behind you as if you're coming into a plank. Now extend your right leg long behind you. Now you're in a full plank. Now bring the left leg back into that externally rotated squat. Now bring the right leg back in. All right, now we're gonna lead everything with the right. So you're gonna row the right arm, put the weight down onto the floor. All right, now extend the right leg, and then extend the left leg, and then right leg comes back in, and then left leg comes back in. So we're gonna keep going, alternating. Good, so always left for one of the series, and then always right when we do the other series. You're going to have a little bit of a rounded spine when you're in your full like sumo squat row situation. That's totally fine, but try not to have it like too rounded. So you wanna be pretty low in the knees to be able to do that. For 6.
I also step my feet a tiny bit wider because my hips are tight, but do what feels comfortable for you.
Good, and really try to engage the core when you bring the legs back in. All right, for 5. Good, and really press the hands down to the weight. It's there to like give you a bit of leverage.
Oh.
Good, all right, you got it. For 4. For 3. Breathing. These are challenging. It's really nice to end with a little dynamic series. All right, good. For 2.
Yeah.
Really strong.
Ooh.
Okay, you're gonna give me 1 more row. Next time you're in your plank, you're just gonna hold your plank and you're just gonna hold. We have 10, 9, 8. Really press out of the hands. For 8, engage the core. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Okay, that was amazing.
Are we done?
We're done. That was really, really good. Okay, we're just gonna do a little hamstring stretch. So put the weights away, sit onto your butt, 2 long legs in front of you, and then you're just gonna fold yourself over and grab onto your shins or your ankles, whatever feels good.
Do you have a favorite type of cake?
Vanilla sponge. Simple is the way to go. No like,
Frosting?
yeah, but like cream cheese frosting or vanilla frosting. I don't want these like sprinkles, none of that bullshit. Keep it simple.
If I had to eat cake, it would be carrot cake with cream cheese frosting.
Oh my God, a vegetable one she picks.
But again, I don't love cake.
So what's your favorite pie?
Blueberry pie, hands down.
Bring your feet together and then fold yourself
A Maine
over.
blueberry pie?
It's goopy. Apple over blueberry.
No.
Okay, and this, by the way, case in point, there's so much like liquid in addition to the crust. Like you need to sit down. Unfortunately, pie will never be a thing that people have all the time because there's just a lot of elements to balance in the mouth and in the eating experience. Vanilla sponge, I can stuff it in my mouth easily, on the go. But also when I'm at the dining table, like very easy to eat. People like convenience. Pie's not convenient.
If you're eating wet pies, you're just eating the wrong pies. Like a pie should not be wet.
It's goopy. I'm sorry, blueberry pie is fucking wet.
No.
right.
Okay, bye.